Okay, so let's look at the second uh, the paragraph, okay? So what do you think is the main idea for this? First one, second one, third one? First one, okay? Nightclub act that use lion is a kind of disgrace, right? I don't know what you really mean by nightclub that use a lion tigers, but I think Las Vegas, right? Las Vegas, right? Night show. You ever been to Las Vegas, right? No, okay. You go to Las Vegas. They have a lot of shows, and they used to have the animal show, like using lions and tigers, okay? But I guess they don't do that anymore, okay? But anyway, so what are the first major detail? Second one? Yeah, it has to be, right? It says making these animals learn tricks, force them to ignore their natural instinct. It is against their natural instinct, okay? You're forcing this lion, tiger to follow, people, that's against their nature, okay? And then, do you think that 3 is a supporting minor detail, or do you think it's another major detail? Minor. Yeah, I think it depends on how you look at it, okay? So I thought it was like a major, but it says like they have to spend their time in cage, then instead of a natural habitat. So maybe it is against their natural instinct, maybe, okay? So yeah, I guess you could say that the 3 is like a minor detail supporting number 2. And what about the fourth one? Club performance that feature line also is a kind of important line. Actually, also bad because so this is you can see that's the second major detail. It's about the safety. Okay, now it's about the safety for the people, right? And words like also, it means what? Additional ideas about why they are bad. Okay, so it is unsafe for people. So maybe you should give you a reason why. Okay, so 5 is like a minor detail supporting number 4. Okay, they are fundamentally wild, so there's no guarantee that they'll attack. So it's like a supports that why it's unsafe for the people. Okay, what about 6? Do you think that this is a minor, major? It's a minor, right? It's giving you a specific example of what happens. Okay, when you mess with the lions and tiger, right? This is like the Loy Hoon and Sigfrid. Sigfrid and Loy is a very famous people. Okay, I mean, like a long time ago, like if you go to Las Vegas, right, you had to watch this show, right? But now after this attack, they kind of stop it. Now they do something else. Okay. So you see that like a 6 and 7, right? It kind of it's an example how it could be unsafe even for the trained people, right? So you see that like it is a disgrace. So it's a someone's opinion, right? So it's a topic sentence. It gives you like a major reason why it is so. Okay. So I think you got number 2 and number 4, right? Okay, that you could call that like a major details, and rest of them kind of support it. So they are minor details. Okay, all right. So that's the idea of a topic sentence, major idea, minor details. Okay, we're gonna do more exercise. There's more exercise in the back, even though you don't have it now, but there's more exercise that comes here. Okay. Let's take a look at this. Okay, here is there's more exercise here, I guess. Okay, find the topic sentence, how many major details you see here. Okay, and there's another, the 2 exercise. Okay, that this one is a little bit more difficult than what you just saw. Okay, so maybe you should look at the first one. Okay, look at the first one. What do you think is the main idea? Find the topic sentence, and how many major details do you see? This is kind of tricky. I think depending on how you look at, it could be 2, 3, 4. I don't know. Okay, so are you looking at it? This is on page 21, right? So Are you done? Can you see this? So what do you think is the topic sentence here? First one, right? The use of animal in scientific research, okay? It's a controversial, it evokes and it provokes a strong emotion on both sides, right? Now, so the first one is a topic sentence. Everybody kind of agrees that this is the first, this is a topic sentence, right? But how many major details do you see? Do you see that? How many major details? Yeah.
I put 2.
You put 2? 승민이는? G? What'd you put down? S? 2. Okay. Now here it goes like, it talks about, it says it's a controversial, right? Strong emotion on both sides, right? It says animal rights activists, right? So you have this on one side, animal rights activists, right? Okay, so they say the rights of animals should be acknowledged and protected, something like that, right? So we know that this 2 and 3 sentence 3 kind of go together, right? What about this one? You think it is kind of separate, or is that should be part of first major detail, or is a separate thing? Now this is what is kind of tricky, but it says strong emotion on both sides, right? So basically, you should have at least 2 sides talking, right? So on one hand, on one side is an animal rights activist, right? On the other side, you have this researcher scientist, okay? So I think you should kind of, say there are 2 major details, right? Here is the one which represents the views of the researcher scientist on one side. On the other side, you have this animal rights activist, okay? This is more conservative, and there you have a more radical activist, but still they are animal rights activists, okay? So you can kind of group them together, okay? Do you see that? Okay? Yeah, so it's like 2 major details here, okay? That's good. So this was kind of tricky. A lot of people miss this, okay? Now what about this one? This one is even more tricky. This is the, they really should look at this, and, it's not like it's giving you the reasons or example, okay? It's just telling you that this is so, and why is it so, in what way. It's giving you more details, okay? So I think this is kind of important that you see how many major details, okay? This is very important, okay? You could look at it as one chunk, okay? Sure. But if I can separate the chunk and divide into more pieces, it's more manageable, okay? What do you think is the topic sentence for this? Yes? First one, right? It says that the Vietnam War deeply affected the way the Americans live their lives, okay? It's about the effects of a Vietnam War on Americans, right? Okay. So you should talk about what were the ways, okay? In what way did it affect the Americans, okay? So how many major details do you see, okay? You really should get this, okay? This is very tricky. This is a kind of typical SAT passage, even though it's less difficult than SAT passage, but you should start here, okay? This is very important. I cannot emphasize enough. How many major details do you see? If you say 1, that's fine. But if you say 1, it's everything kind of mixes together. You can separate, So it's going to be more confusing, okay? So everybody is kind of looking at it and trying to find how many major details do you see? How many ways are there that it affected, okay, Americans, okay? Okay, so we know the first sentence, the topic sentence. How many major details? How many? Come on, give me the number. Two. No. Three. No. Two. Okay. So the first one is this, right? It's a military service. It's like a life-changing experience for, okay, 2 million Americans. Okay, who are these 2 million Americans? They are soldiers, right? They are soldiers, right? In the typical tour of duty, you know what I mean by tour of duty? Like a military service, okay? You go to war, okay? You go to war in Vietnam or Iraq, okay? It's a tour of duty. That's what they call it, okay? So in the war, okay, soldiers encounter many bad stuff, okay? So we know that this is all about the Vietnam are affecting the soldiers, okay? How they what they experienced, okay? So we know that at least there's one detail, okay, one major detail, okay? Now, if you look at the next one, would you say this is a kind of separate issue, or is that kind of should include in that military service? What do you think? G? 어? 뭐라고? 뭐라고? 뭐랬어? Include, okay? Now, if you kind of look at it very carefully, even those Americans who did not fight, 그랬잖아. So they are not the soldier. This is not the soldier. We're talking different people, okay? They are not the soldier. It says, millions of young men spend substantial part of their late adolescence and wondering they'll be drafted, seek ways to avoid participating, okay? So this is about the people are not the soldier. They didn't go to war, but they were in fear of whether they were getting drafted, you know, and seeking ways to avoid. So they were like flee to Canada, you know, even they're willing to go to prison, you know. You know, Muhammad Ali, the boxer, maybe he wasn't avoiding it, okay? Maybe he believed, he had a principle, okay? Maybe it was different, okay? But he was not a soldier, we know that, right? So this is for young Americans, okay? Young men. We're talking young men, okay? And so this is kind of different group. So this is a second major detail, okay? You have to see this. And then here's a far more men did not go to Vietnam than men. 가는 사람보다 안 간 사람이 더 많다고 했는데, but the war did division among people of entire generation. So this is more than just young people. It's entire generation. Okay, so it could also include women. Okay, it could old people too, right? So if you look at it, those who fought in the war often resented those who did not, and people who did not go to Vietnam treated those who with scorn. Okay, so there could be women there, maybe teenager, maybe the old people in 20, 30, 40, you know, all these people. So there was some sort of animosities between those two groups of people, okay? People who went to war, who fought the war, they thought they sacrificed themselves for the country, but then they were not welcome at home, okay? So here, there are three major details, okay? You really, really have to see this, okay? So one first detail is for the soldier, how it affected them. Second one is like a young man, okay? They didn't go to war, maybe, okay? They were in fear. It's the second major, and the third one is like kind of affected the whole generation, like old people, young people, kind of created division. They were kind of fighting against each other, okay? So this is the three major detail, okay? So every time, okay? You look at the passage, it's SAT passage, ACT passage. You look at the paragraph, you should know what the topic sentence, and then if you summarize, this is how you summarize, okay? But summarizing is a technique that will go into more detail. Remember, we talk about this every day in class, right? We have to train this, okay? Ability to summarize each paragraph is essential. You have to do it. Without doing it, then you're not doing anything, okay? So maybe next time I'll talk about how to summarize a paragraph essential. Okay, so next time maybe I'll talk more about sentence relationship or all the 5W1H stuff, more about major minor, finding the main idea, summarizing the paragraph, summarizing the whole main idea of a passage. Okay, we'll talk about more of that. So I think I will kind of wrap it up here. Okay, so thank you very much and have a nice night. My name is Jonjun and bye.